things that gets overlooked a lot on these cars is the automatic transmission fluid. You're supposed to change it every 50 or 60,000 miles. You could do 3 different methods. One of them is flushing it, and I highly recommend not doing that because they put a detergent through your transmission, and it's just bad news. I wouldn't do it. Method 2 is a good alternative. It's doing an exchange. So you bring in about 18 quarts of transmission fluid, and you exchange. They basically use a machine to drain your transmission fully, including a torque converter, and then they replace it with the new fluid. Or number 3, you could do it the way I always do it. And what I do is I first drop the pan initially. So I drop the transmission, automatic transmission pan, and replace that filter. There's a mesh filter in there. It's not a fine filter, it's not like you need to actually replace it, but I did anyway. So I put a new filter in, and cleaned out the pan, cleaned out the metal tabs that basically it collects all the particles in the transmission fluid. I cleaned those off. There's a little bit of residue on them, so I picked up a little bit, but wiped them down, put new sealant around, Toyota certified sealant or whatever for the gasket. There's no actual gasket, it's just that gasket sealer material. Bolted it back on, and that was it. When you drop the pan, you get an extra like 2 or 3 quarts out. If you just drain it using the bolt, you'll get maybe 2 quarts, 2.5 quarts. Like I said, there's 18 quarts in there, so you're never going to be able to drain the whole system just using this method. But what I do is every oil change, I'll drain and fill whatever comes out of the drain. I'll replace back with new. And if you do that every oil change, every like 3 to 5,000 mile oil change, you should be alright. I mean, I've been doing it for all of my cars and I've never had a problem. Transmission fluid has always been bright red, really clean. So you can do it this way. This is the way I'm going to do it, and I'll show you how I do it. And if you want to do the exchange, it's usually like a $40 or $50 charge to take it somewhere, and you just provide them with the fluid and they'll do it for you. But I'm going to do it this method, so stay tuned if you want to see it the way I do it, which bolt to take out. It's pretty straightforward. It'll take me all of 10-15 minutes to do. And I actually don't even have to jack the car up to do it, so that's nice. This is the center diff. That's the rear diff. This is the gas tank. Those are the two, that bolt and this bolt are the 2 bolts for the torsion bars. For those torsion bars. And what we're gonna do so up underneath the metal shroud is the engine's oil drain plug. If you look back a little bit right here, that right there is the automatic transmissions plug. So it's right, sorry for the shaky camera, it's right there. So that's the automatic transmissions plug. This right here is another item that I'm going to go over in a future video on how to lubricate these, your drive shaft, your yoke fittings they call them, I guess. So anyway, we'll do that on a future video, but for right now, automatic transmission, that plug right there is what we're going to take out. I believe it's a 14 mil, but I'll confirm that in a sec. Make sure you put a pan underneath it to catch the fluid. is for some reason they installed this drain right above this member here, so I think it's gonna hit the automatic transmission. Oh, it actually doesn't hit. So they designed that pretty nicely. It doesn't splatter all over the place. But we'll do a quick comparison of this old fluid with the new fluid. You can see what the difference is. Okay, so this is already a dirty piece of paper towel, so it's not the best to be doing this with, but I just wanted to show you a comparison between clean transmission fluid, which just came out, and the old stuff. As you can see, quite a big difference there. So now seeing this huge difference makes me kind of want to do a full drain and fill. Okay, as you can see, it stopped. So now all we're going to do is obviously put the cap back on. But you see the little drips? If you just leave this to drain, it'll slowly drip another like 2 or 3 quarts out. Now you know why a lot of people use training fluid for lubricating a lot of things, because professionally doing this for somebody else, just clean around there. If it's your own, just leave it. Nobody cares. But it's good to clean it, so you know next time if you see a little pool there, you know that it's leaking and you need to tighten it up or change a gasket or something. But I'm alright. I think we're fine here. Now what you're gonna do is take what you just drained out and you're gonna pour it into containers. You can measure how much you need to put back in. Okay, so now that you've seen the difference between good and bad transmission fluid, or old and new, this is what I like to use. Toyota, straight from Toyota, Dextron 5. There's the other type, I forgot what it was called, but check to see what your car needs. I like to stick with Toyota because, I mean, you have 200 and something thousand miles on it, and it's had the Toyota fluid, so it can't be bad fluid. It's got to be good stuff. Also, another reason why I don't like to do a flush, because they use a detergent in there, and who knows if any of the residue of that detergent stays in there or whatever, and they put an additive into your transmission fluid on top of what you have. I don't like any of that stuff, so just stick with Toyota, or if you want to use Mobil 1 or something, you can go ahead and do that. I like to stick to Toyota. Anyway, to fill it, what we're gonna do is right there is the dipstick for checking the training fluid. So I can zoom in on that for you. Yeah, so right there is where you check transmission fluid. You know we need about 2 quarts. Stick in your funnel. You're gonna want to get a small funnel so you can fit it in there. Straightforward, pour in your training. Not rocket science here. Your funnel out. You're doing the oil change. Add that to your steps there. Let the torque converter and everything do its thing. And that's pretty much it. You're done.